Hello, YouTube. This is ZiggyNo back with Sports Cards Daily. Today is August 9th, and on this day in 2016, Michael Phelps won his 20th medal. Wow, 20. Is it all gold? I think it was. On 2012, Usain Bolt, the sprinter, is the first to win the 100 and 200 back to back, to repeat as winner. First to do that. No one else had won the 100, 200. Most time you decline in speed, but man, this guy did it twice, 4 years apart. Amazing. Olympics are pretty hot in August this time. Right now, a lot of other sports are going on. Basketball's been amazing. Baseball's still kicking along. Hockey's been hotter than ever. I'm a little disappointed with some of the basketball play, but I'm excited to see playoffs starting in about I think a week from tomorrow. Basketball playoffs will start. Hockey's already underway with some great games going on, and baseball, like I said, I'm excited we still have baseball happening. So, looking forward to that. What did you miss? Going to go over that. Going to talk a little bit about Hobby Hotline, Buster, Leola, Northeast Ohio, 5 years of prison video I dropped. Talk about interview on Card Ladder, interview with Brian Gray. I'm going to be dropping a sneak peek of my parody card pyramid, just to kind of answer some questions about what's going on, my thoughts and comments on data tools around card data tools that use magic. Anyway, you'll see that coming out later tonight. In hobby news, I do want to mention, I did pick up from one of the content providers, Illusions Basketball was direct only to Panini Direct customers. That does not mean just because you had a Panini account or because you have a store. There were some other requirements. So it's directed at hobby shops who have Panini Direct accounts. Also, apparently, the retail product is only going to be available at Walmart. So Illusions Retail will be a Walmart exclusive. Chronicles is out and it's on fire, which makes me just crazy that I can't find any because of the prices it's going for. I mean, 5x what you're buying it in retail. It's just sickening. So far, I've seen it in the Midwest and only in Target. So if you have any other updates, please comment below on where you're seeing Chronicles or any retail products. We'd love to hear from you. Let's get into what's going on in the hobby. So first of all, Hobby Hotline started off yesterday morning. I would say it's kind of quiet morning, good conversation to talk a little bit about what's going on in the hobby. I like this show. Still not getting the viewers they deserve. I mean, they just in the sense that you have full access to people in the hobby. You can ask questions. I really encourage people who are new or listening to join Hobby Hotline Saturday mornings and at Monday evenings. Next up was Card Market Conversation with Chris Jackson, Action Jackson. I did not know who he was, but apparently he's a friend of Adam Lefkoe. It's in the Adam Lefkoe connections. Also, I'm mutually connected with the guy on Facebook in some places, not directly, but we have some mutual contacts, so that was kind of cool. Buster always does a great job on his show, and I enjoyed this collaboration and conversation, getting some insight from what I would say is kind of an OG in the hobby, because these guys both talked about like back to 2015 and what they've seen since then. So I really enjoyed this. Next up was Leola did a sports card Q&A session. Always happy to see this young lady's content. She reminds me again that she's only 17, will be turning 18 next month, but just has a great passion, new person to the hobby, and gives some really sound, ground advice. So do recommend checking out her channel, listening to what she's talking about. She's had some amazing growth in the hobby, and I think she's just got a passion and kind of one of the things. Just anyway, check out the channel. You'll enjoy it. Then I like the weekly reviews, and I expect more of those today on Sunday. But yesterday there was one out by Northeast Ohio. He is using market movers, which I thought was, I'm always a fan of seeing that. But I like the way he's talking about some of the tools and some of the things that could actually see a decline in the hobby. So I thought that, again, was insightful. Not a hype channel, but kind of just showing you trends and data. That was followed up last night. There was a great conversation, and great in the sense that I appreciate Carlos reaching out and putting together this interview with Chris from House of Jordan. They talked about Card Ladder. I thought Chris did a good job, and I thought Carlos asked some good questions. I will say, okay, if you go to minute about 117 in the video, my biggest concern, complaint, issue with Card Ladder is they create a score that will rank cards in a ladder. And my question is simply why? Why are you doing that? Are you trying to draw attention to something that normal, like sales data, sales percentage of change, normal metrics that we use today in a data tool? What is your scoring engine's goal to bring my attention to TJ Warren on top of the ladder, right? And I will say that was never answered. Even if you look at minute 1 hour and 17 minutes in, Carlos asks him, he points out the concern that looks like a hype. And then Chris even says, yeah, there's some concerns, there's some issues. And Carlos says, stop, I've got a solution for you. And his solution is simply to move the ladder down to hide the ladder, which I think doesn't address the issue here. So until someone, and again, I will just say this, no one from Card Ladder answered this. Why did you create the scoring algorithm? What is the purpose of it? It's a math equation. They go over that. I'm not arguing that. I can make a math equation. Anybody can make a math equation that takes a number and spits out another number. But why? What is the purpose? When you made this, what was the purpose of building the card ladder with these scoring algorithms the way you do? There's got to be a purpose there. And no one is answering the purpose. I will move on. I'm beating the dead horse. Love the conversation on Sports Card Live last night. Brian Gray, when I think back to the interview back in May, this guy was just saying all sorts of crazy stuff, and he didn't stop. The energy was awesome. And I don't want to say crazy stuff in a negative way. I mean crazy, just his energy and hype for the hobby was just exciting. We talked about crazy stuff like Luka going to $2,400 for a base prism. Hey, I'm not going to argue with you, man. I just thought it was exciting to hear that energy, right? He talked about some amazing things about Giannis and the cards that were missed, and just a great conversation. I will also say, this thing went for 3 hours, man. I think it was 3 hours. Isn't some video saying 2 hours? It went for like 3 hours. It was a great, great interview. I listened to like 90% of it. Had to go in the background as I'm cleaning cards and wiping cards that I'm going to grade or whatever with my sons, or sorting cards and stuff. So we listen to stuff, and it's good. At the end, there's a great story that Brian Gray goes into about almost buying Donruss that just was epic. And I appreciate it. Stuff like that that makes these interviews memorable and really makes the hobby exciting. So check that out if you have the time. Okay, so last, I'm going back to our hobby content creators spotlight, and I'd like to bring the spotlight to Ground Zero. Found Ground Zero in a chat. I think, just we were both in the same chat talking about, I think it was at Hobby Palooza maybe. Just really like what they're doing. I'm a big fan of them because he does a lot of this TTM, through the mail autographs. And I think we both stumbled across Card Cutter, who kind of turned us both on to this. But this is really cool to me, right? You can send, cards to guys in the mail with some money, and they will autograph the cards and send it back. So big fan of this channel, big fan of what he's doing. Check out Ground Zero. Push this guy over 500. Let's rock him up to 1,000 subscribers if we can sometime. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the daily sports card today, or whatever I'm calling it right now. Thank you very much. Leave your comments. Look forward to hearing from you. Talk to you tomorrow. Also planning some more content coming out. Going to talk a little about some selling systems. Going to do some more tools. Going to do an update on some of the selling tools we're working with. And, of course, look for our sneak peek at Card Pyramid.